Hello everybody, Witchfinder here from Horror Screen Video Board, back with another video of the 88 Films Italian collection that I picked up in the summer sale. So this is part 2 of 2. So, continuing on from video 1, which I'll leave a video box somewhere around here if you haven't seen it. And check it out, because there's a few films there which I'm sure many people would want to pick up. But we shall crack on with what I picked up here with part 2. So first up we have Delirium, which has possibly the bustiest woman you'd ever have on a cover of a Italian film anyway. Well, an Italian film in a genre that could be shown in cinema screens anyway. So this is directed by Lamberto Bava in the 80s, I believe, yeah, 87. So later Bava films. So this would have been a couple of years before his last few films that he made. But so a lot of people would probably just pick it up just by the cover, I would have. But anyway, so it's Gloria, a model turned magazine owner, is having a terrible time keeping her buxom talent alive. A crazed fan of the ex-models picking off her new starlets one by one and sending grotesque photographs of their bloody craftsmanship to the poor mogul. As the threats and bodies continue to mount, Gloria must discover who this madman is before she becomes the ultimate model for the lunatic's chopping block. Scored by the legendary Simon Boswell, Demons 2, Lamberto Bava's overly stylish giallo was originally developed by none other than Dario Argento and is brimming with legendary exploitation stars like Daria Nicolodi, George Eastman, and David Branton, all of whom are draped in outlandish 80s fashion. Hey, don't mock the 80s fashion. Delirium makes its HD debut thanks to 88 films and is a must for any giallo fan. And yes, I would totally agree with that. This is definitely one of the ones you should pick up, especially for later giallo films anyway, because of course towards end of the 80s, the Italian film industry was pretty much dying out and it's nearly dead. So this is definitely worth picking up for probably one of the last giallo films of the 80s anyway. There's a couple more, but this is one of the last. So the extras on here is The Dame of Delirium, booklet notes by Callum Waddell, and just a reversible sleeve, which is basically that, but oh, get my finger off it so you can see it. Is that? So this is yeah, definitely worth picking up, especially if you like Bava's work, whether it's Mario Bava or just Lamberto Bava, whichever. But it's worth picking up for various reasons. I quite like it, but that's just me. So next one is this, which is called The Perfume of the Lady in Black. But this is the one with the slipcase, which you can pick up from 88 Films website. I think they're limited to a certain number, and you can only pick up the slipcases from their website usually. So I picked up this. That's the front cover, starring Mimsy Farmer, and then that's the back. So it's nice. It's a nice slipcase. So get it open, and then that's the cover of the Blu-ray, and then of course that's the multiple slipcase looks like. So take your pick of which cover you would have preferred. I quite like both myself. So this was directed in the 70s, 74, and another giallo. Hardened giallo fans have been screaming out for a British release of 1974's macabre masterpiece, The Perfume of the Lady in Black. Long considered one of the genre's greatest achievements, this surreal and spooky exploration of the beautiful Hitchcockian blonde and her breakdown into oddball visions of childhood and violence, not to mention a bloody body count that seems concurrent with her mysterious and malevolent mindscape, is a truly unique spin on a long-running Italian terror trend. Expertly helmed by Francesco Barilli, who penned the gruesome excess of Umberto Lenzi's classic Man for Deep River. and highlighting a provocative performance from the legendary Mimsy Farr for Flies and Grey Velvet, The Perfume of Lady Black is an outrageous experiment in the giallo form that has rightfully gained recognition as a must-see horror classic. Thankfully, down to the hard work of 88 films, Blu-ray audience can finally explore its lunatic landscapes in this remastered, uncut HD presentation. So, trailer extras are theatrical trailer, Italian closing credits, versatile sleeve, and there's a little book by Callum Waddell called The Sweet Smell of the Giallo. And you can see the lovely Mimsy Farmer on the back. But this is one which rightfully gets a lot of acclaim, at least in my opinion anyway. I mean, everybody's got different opinions on what they class as one of the, let's say the top 20 giallo films. I would put this in the top 20 myself. It's worth picking up, and I was going to mention that it says at the back, Mimsy Farmer was in Four Flies in Grey Velvet. Now, funnily enough, or not funny enough, maybe should Four Flies in Grey Velvet is the one Dario Argento film that took many years to get into the UK, but it was the first Dario Argento film that I ever saw many years ago, and then I've seen that film, and I really liked how he did his directing of his films and his style, and then I ended up just picking up the rest of his films. I mean, yeah, fair enough. His later career is a bit hit and miss, but there is still signs of his greatness in his later films. I mean, Mother of All Tears, which people pick on, but personally I quite liked it. But that's just me. But anyway, that's enough about Dario Argento for now. Let's get on with the next thing we got in here. But so that is the Perfume Lady in Black, who doesn't want to go back in her slipcase, but now she has. Next up is Body Puzzle, which is great. Now this is on the back cover. It says, "He won't quit until he gets the final piece," which is just a great little tagline, I think. So that's what the sleeve looks like, and then that's, yes, I say it's basically the same. Just this one, this one's got a man on it, and then that one's no, that one hasn't. That's just got some lines down the thing, which I don't know what that's about, to be honest, but that's what that is. So there's that, and then that's the back of it. So this is directed by, again, Lamberto Bava. So that's two films here. It was directed by Lamberto. So this, yeah, it's 1992. So this would have been probably, I think this would have been his last. I would have thought. Find out. Demons director Lamberto Bava continued to craft a few high-profile plasma spillers even after the golden age of Italian gore had passed. And 1992's Body Puzzle is a prime example of the maestro's macabre excellence, a giallo gem which is long overdue some serious reappraisal from fans of Euro horror excess, and its mind-mangling mystery. An attractive young widow becomes inadvertently caught up in a killer's sick scheme, with a mysterious murderer leaving lopped-off limbs at her doorstep and taunting her from afar. Featuring a supporting cast includes the ever-iconic Giovanni Lombardo Radici, Killer Felix, City of the Living Dead. Body Puzzle would be Bava's giallo swan song, and there is little doubt that the legendary film went out with a big bloody bang. Arguably even more twisted than A Blade in the Dark, and with a plot balmier than his classic Demons, 88 films proud to present Body Puzzle uncut and in HD. Versatile sleeve with the original title Mysteria. Art in the Blood, which is an interview with an actor, and Demonic Deeds, an interview with Lamberto Bava by Callum Waddell. So that's what the cover looks like. And then on the back, you've got the alternative cover. Mysteria. Not me personally. I like the title Body Puzzle, and the cover for Mysteria wouldn't necessarily get me intrigued into watching it, but this is definitely a highlight of Bava's later career, and it's always good to see Giovanni Lombardo Radici turning up in films, because he's a very good actor. He always does well in what roles he has. So next up we have this, which is known as Coldblooded Beast, which is also Slaughter Hotel. and it stars Klaus Kinski, doesn't it? Yeah, Klaus Kinski. So that's the basically the covers are the same, just with the title changed on the slipcase, and then that's the back of the slipcase. If you're interested. So this one is a film directed by Fernando de Leo, which I don't recognise the name other than this. I can't think of anything else he's directed off the top of my head. So a clinic for mentally unstable but wealthy women is being terrorized by a maniac with a fetish for medieval weaponry. Dr. Keller, Klaus Kinski, X-Ray, and his team are clueless as to who is behind these brutal crimes. Is it a member of his staff, or have one of his charges finally snapped and started to act out on the perverse fantasies on their fellow inmates? From maverick filmmaker Leonardo Di Leo shoot first, director comes Coldblooded Beasts, aka Slaughter Hotel. His one and only foray into the celebrated giallo genre, features some of Italian exploitation cinema's finest beauties: Rosalba Neri, Cheryl Hume, and Monica Strauss. Sorry if I slaughtered any of those names. Cold-Blooded Beasts is a sleazy delight for anyone with passing interest in the seedier side of the genre. 88 Films are proud to present the film uncut and HD for the first time in the UK. This one has extra-wise script supervising in the 70s, Hot-Blooded Rosalba, an interview with 2017 interview with Rosalba Neri, theatrical trailer, English closing credits, and reversible sleeve. Now, I've seen that cover before, but that's the one that I've seen quite a few times in books, etc. This is one that I'm sure a lot of people would have seen, especially if you're a fan of Klaus Kinski's work, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head that he's actually not that good in. But he's always got that kind of sinister thing about him that you wouldn't trust him with any sort of easy role, I suppose. You want me like romantic lead, yeah, he could play that sort of role, but you'd always think he'd be up to some kind of devious goods hidden in his agenda. So next up is this, which stars the lovely Barbara Steele, The Long Hair of Death. Now, I did have this on the Raro video DVD, I think it was. I'm sure that's what it was. But when I heard that 88 was picking this up, I had to pick it up. Well, I had to carry on my collection. So, after the murder of her mother and sister, Elizabeth Karnstein is taken in by the affluent Count Humboldt and his family. She has been married to his twisted son Kurt, and as a plague sweeps a small village, one prophesied by Elizabeth's mother before her death. The spectre of Elizabeth's older sister Helen, Barbara Steele, Castle of Blood, appears during one fateful stormy night. Anyone with the surname Humboldt starts to perish one by one. Antonio Margareta has 7 deaths in a cat's eye, which I'm pretty sure 88 put that as well. Strikes again with this brooding gothic chiller that effortlessly recaptures the magic of his acclaimed classic Castle of Blood. Extras on this are just a couple actually. There's an Italian Gothic, The Horrors of Antonio Margheriti, which is probably quite an interesting little documentary, if that's what it is. Trailer, a versatile sleeve with the alternate Italian title artwork, which that's the one that UK people are probably used to, and that's the cover, which I'm sure was on the Raro DVD release of this. But there you see, I mean, as you can see, it's got quite a gothic bit of charm to it. As far as Barbara Steele, who, to be honest, she doesn't look that much different now. I don't think she looks that much different now anyway. So there's that. And that was made in 64. Then the next one is this, which is a Fulci film. Lucio Fulci. Now, that is a great image, in my opinion. I mean, there is imagery to films that you see and you think, oh, that looks really good, but then you watch a film and you go, what the hell? But just the poster art alone, this film would be worth it. Anyway, go down there, you can just about work out like demon ghost hands down the bottom. And then that's the cover up there. The slipcase, and then that's the back, and then on the case is that, which obviously again is not much different than the slipcase, but the slipcase makes it look really pretty. So directed by Fulci, which being the 80s, so yeah, 88, appropriately, 88 films. The financially strained and increasingly desperate Lester Parsons concocts a brilliant get-rich-quick scheme, proves the lonely hearts ads for rich women to fleece. Too bad then that Lester's also a psychotic cannibal who enjoys mutilating these lovelorn souls via his trusty chainsaw and using their flesh for his dinner. When a copycat killer threatens to bring him down, Lester must do all he can to prevent this new killer's sloppy work from ruining them both. From the godfather of gore, Lucci Funky, Zombie Free, comes this darkly humorous gore fest which sits proudly as the crowning achievement in the late master's latter career. Rediscover the morbidly dark sense of horror and humour of the beloved maestro of karate thanks to his stunning HD presentation from 88 films. Extras on here are Reflections in a Broken Mirror, working with Lucci Funky and Making Touch of Death, featurette with contribution from Michelle Nickel, De Angelis and Marco Di Stefano, and a reversible sleeve featuring the Italian title, which basically it's that's the reversible sleeve. Just if you buy it now, you probably get that. I don't think there's only the slipcase ones left. But I'd agree, this is one of Fulci's better later films. I mean, he did those ones which I'm pretty sure was like kind of like the Dario Argento thing, Door into Darkness, I believe it's called, where he puts his name to it, to a certain thing, and then he has certain people that do the film. So Fulci's was, I think he did Lucci Funky Presents Such and Such, directing. There was Sweet House of Horrors, The House of Clocks, I think. There's a few others as well, but that was two of them. It would be really, really nice if 88 managed to pick those up and release them, because they definitely need some polishing, those films, compared to the releases I've seen. The releases I've seen have not been good of them. And, I mean, yeah, they're not great, but I mean, Touch of Death has got a decent release, so I can't see why those films shouldn't. But, again, that's just me. I mean, everybody has their own thing. But this is definitely one of Fulci's better later films. Alongside A Cat in the Brain, which again is another one in films that could be hit and miss with fans. And last but not least, in this pile of these films I picked up from the 88 sale, which is quite a few, I picked up Zombie Creeping Flesh in this cool slipcase. So there's that on the front. I mean, why would you not want to pick it up from that? I mean, this is the cover that I've seen several times, Virus, which is great. I was quite impressed with this slipcase when I seen it. And so yeah, you got that, and then you got that on that side, and then the thing is like that. That's the normal cover. They eat the living, zombie creeping flesh. So this is 80, and Bruno Mattei. When the creeping dead devour the living flesh. Now, I mean, you look at the covers. I mean, which one would you pick to be your one? Because to be honest, I think they'd all sell. Well, they worked. They did. People bought the film, rented it, and whatever. So, legendary schlock master Bruno Mattei, Rats, Nights of Terror. Now, before I go any further, I would love it if 88 films released that in the Italian collection. I mean, I think I've had it. I think I got it on the Bipco DVD release, which doesn't look great, to be honest. And again, it's not a great film, but it has its entertaining moments. And 88 would probably do really well with releasing it, especially as they've released some Mattei stuff anyway. So anyway, really outdid himself with 1980s classic video nasty Bilefest, a zombie cream flesh banned by the British authorities back in the early days of VHS thanks to its scenes of in-house chewing, eye-popping and throat-ripping excess. Zombie Green Flesh is a strangely moral eco-horror film that warns against the very real terrors of nuclear pollution and chemical fallout as residents of Papua New Guinea are turned into flesh-hungry undead denizens, directed with the splatter enthusiastic aplomb that one would expect from Mattei, one of the underrated authors of Golden Age Italian gore, and penned by the iconic Z movie maverick Claudio Fragrazzo. Zombie Free, Zombie Flesh Eaters 2, Troll 2. But that's just an iconic film just for very many wrong reasons. Troll 2, but there you go. It is tough to deny that Zombie Green Flesh is every bit as early entered as it was almost 40 years ago. 40 years ago this film came out. It's ridiculous. Now presented uncut and censored in an aesthetic presentation that will sizzle your senses, Zombie Green Flesh is back to chew its way into your living room, courtesy of 88 Films' ever-impressive Italian collection. Extras are Margie Among the Living Dead, a 2017 interview with star Margie Newton, Hell on Earth, a 2017 interview with writer Claudio Fragrazzo, theatrical trailer, reversible sleeve, Operation Sweet Death, Destined to Fail, limited edition booklet, notes by Marek Zakarkiv. Sorry if you're watching this video and I pronounced your name wrong, but that's it's got a nice little booklet in it, which has quite a lot of info in it. And just it's what's it got? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 10 pages in it, but it's quite a lot of info in it. So there's that. This is number 35 in the collection, so as you can tell, it's quite a few, and they could go on with this series. Same with their slasher collection that they're doing, which is another one which I will put a link somewhere around here, a video box, which you can check out. That video, what I picked up of the slasher collection. But there's the other cover. There's another cover on the back, which is that. I mean, so you got that cover, and you got this cover, you got that cover, you got that cover. So there's only a few covers that you could possibly pick for this film. I really like this one. It's one of my guilty pleasures of zombie films. Doesn't want to go back in a slipcase, but you will. So there's that. So these are all the ones I picked up. And there's quite a few there. And I think what we got. Yeah, I've seen all of these, I believe. Yeah, I have seen them all. This lot anyway. But let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of those films. If you recommend any Italian horrors that I might not have seen. I have seen quite a few, but feel free to drop any comments down below of any ones that you recommend I should check out. And as always, give the video a thumbs up, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.